How are we going to start this show?
How are we going to start this show?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
How are we going to start the show?
I don't know. What do you mean?
We got to say something smart so people know we're intelligent. Right? We can't wing this. People are going to be listening.
That's a joke. I don't know nothing. Do you know anything?
I have no idea. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, let's find out what they know.
All right. Well, let's start the show then.
Give me a
Can we
sense
start
for
the
each
show?
person. Chickadee.
Can we start this show now?
Dude, what the hell are you talking about? Let's go.
Look who it is. What are you doing?
Hey, man, I like the intro. I like the track behind the intro. I like it. It's
Yeah,
very
man,
jazzy. You picked a
Took me
good
a-
one
it
there.
took- It took me a while to find that one, man.
I would like
That's
to
good.
I would like to say welcome to everyone, but the first thing I want to say is you have a magnificent sweater on, brother. What is that and who is it from?
Oh, man.
Tell us all. We're
I
all
don't know about
interested.
it. I don't know about this.
Don't
sweater,
even
man.
act. You know that you was telling me all about it before we started. You was like, look at my great jacket thing I have here. Look at this. It's
Man,
beautiful to
it's,
touch.
I'm up here in the wintry north, man. It's a nice Italian cashmere sweater from Italy.
There it is. Okay. But you didn't mention the name. It's all right. We won't mention no
The
names.
name
on
is
here.
not. I'm not putting names out there because when people see this video, they're gonna be like,
Hey, They're gonna be like, I need one because Stein looks so good in it.
Well, I'm not supporting anybody's sweater
Oh,
manufacturing company.
Okay.
Not until they start
I mean,
sending
that
me
makes-
sweaters on the down.
Okay, so you don't do nothing for free. I guess you. I
No,
guess you.
man, I
So,
can't do anything for free.
Steiny, tell me something, brother.
What's
What
that?
are we doing here today?
I don't know.
what are
I
we
thought we were
doing here
going to
today?
interview
What are we doing?
somebody.
I mean, this is kind of one of the things of the show, right? I think what we should do before we do that is we should just explain to folks a little bit, like kind of what this show is all about, what makes our show different, why,
We're a bunch of
what
idiots.
are we
That's
about?
why.
What are we about?
That's what's different. I don't know anything about anything.
Okay.
So that's different because I'm not a professional anything. So
I mean, the intro says it all, right?
right.
I don't know nothing. I don't know
Two-week
nothing. We'll
links. I
find
don't
out.
know anything. Do you know? Do you know anything?
I don't know anything, man. But hopefully, we're about to find out some cool stuff today.
Who's our guest
this is
today,
our man. This is our second guest, and I am super excited to chat to him. It's I have been watching his videos for a while now. I think he started back in 21, doing his videos. I might be incorrect with this, and we'll find out more in just a
1921.
moment. 1921. This man looks phenomenal for his age. I
My
must
God,
admit,
he's like
it's
100,
incredible.
102 years old.
102, but it looks at least 22, at least. So I'm impressed, man. But hey, why don't you tell everyone who's watching who are we lucky to have today?
No, you go ahead. All right. You if you've watched YouTube and you know anything about crypto, you have seen his videos.
Mhm.
He's a beautiful man. He's so attractive. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is horrible because he's just gonna be like making us look horrible.
I know. This is why I'm covered up today, because I don't want anybody to have to compare me to him and be like,
Well, you do got that Peaky Blinder going on there. So,
Yep.
you know.
Well, I tell you what, I'll say the name. Today we have with us the wonderful, the magical, the incredibly knowledgeable on Cardano and cryptocurrency. Dapp Central is with us today. I'm super glad to have him. Shall we bring him on to the show, Stein?
Farid from Dapp.
Farid from Dapp
Are you
Central.
kidding me?
Yes. I
All
mean,
right, let's pull him up here. There he is.
Yo,
Oh my God! Look
what
at him.
is
He's so
going on,
handsome.
you guys?
Jesus,
You guys,
what are we gonna do?
you guys are
man?
gonna make me blush. You guys are
Oh,
gonna
what
make me
What are
blush.
we gonna do, man?
Your lips
Oh,
already
man,
all looking
look-
so juicy. I don't know what you did to them, but
Oh man!
Mwah.
Oh snap, man! This
That's
is
what's
good.
up,
This
man.
is good. Oh,
So how are you? How are
I-
you today, Farid? How you doing, man?
I am great. I'm great. I'm in an awesome mood. You guys have already picked me up, man. Again, thank you guys for the intro. I'm glad
Hey,
to be
no
here.
problem.
Thank you for the opportunity.
no problem. Well, we want to make sure you come back. So
With an intro like that, trust me, I'll be back.
Well, we don't know how many
Good,
guests
good,
we're going to
man.
get, so you might be our guest every week for the next
The
season.
2 week links, the 2 week links and Farid
And
show.
Farid,
Yeah.
right? We have to have somebody that has some knowledge because I don't know anything. So
Oh man, no. So Farid, tell us a little bit
Mhm.
about yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you're doing. With what do you do with your
man,
time?
you're
You
getting
know,
right in. You're getting right
dude,
in.
I want to know about him. I want to know more
Let the
about him. I'm
man relax,
excited.
man. You can't just come in and ask him his personal
Ah,
business. What are you gonna
tell us
ask him
all
what's
who you
inside his
are,
wallet?
Farid.
Jeez.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So no, I mean, I'm totally fine with it. So as you guys said, I'm a content creator, but prior to me coming into Cardano and content creation, I was just honestly a student, going to school. I just recently graduated not too long ago. And I was just working a regular 9 to 5, working in software development. And since then, I found Cardano, and it's been an interesting experience, coming across such a big community, such a supporting community. I've really enjoyed the entire process, and collaborating people like yourselves, which you guys are both content creators in your own rights. Shout out to Se7en. I actually just watched your latest track that you dropped on Twitter not too long ago, and I've just got to say you're lyrically gifted.
Oh, thank you,
So
brother.
being
Thank you.
not a problem, man, not a problem. And so being in the space with other content creators, just other people that are just so nice and welcoming, has been an experience. But my goal is to basically just educate the community, right? So I came in 2021, and so you're spot on with that, man. Not 1921, like Stein said.
Well, I didn't know. He has to be more specific with me
Mm,
because I don't know. I don't know, man.
it's the brain don't work like it used to, does it, Stein?
Well, see, I was born back in the '60s, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
figuring, hey, maybe
I bet you've been
he's
through it.
21. I don't know.
Bet you've been through it, man. Bet you've been through it. So, okay, cool. So,
Mhm.
you know what? That I did not know that you were a dev. I didn't know you were a software developer. How you just said you just graduated? Is that in the same kind of field?
Yeah, so I studied information science or informatics, and that was actually, I want to say, so when I say just graduated, I guess that's probably not correct. I graduated in 2016, so I've been in the work field for quite a bit of time. I've got some experience in what I do, but it's all Web 2 related, right? So I think that's why I'm
Mm.
able to kind of leverage what I know now and do the things that I'm doing in crypto, because in my regular job, I'm having to also teach people, how to do things, and I'm just around software all the time. So Cardano was perfect for me, especially in terms of the technology and what was going on here. And it's funny because I actually wanted to start a workout channel. I shared this with a few other people, and I made one video about working out, and I showed it to somebody that was very, very close to me. And I wanted to get their raw reaction, and they cringed on the inside, man. And that was enough for me to know, like, this is
Are
not the
Oh
field for me to
man,
go into,
are you
that's
talking about working
horrible.
out like fitness, like exercise working out? Oh
pumping that
goodness.
iron, man,
Okay.
pumping that
All
iron.
right. So
Well,
you an iron pumper.
seven does a lot of weightlifting and exercising and
Yeah, I've been a
bodybuilding and
PT for, I
whatever.
don't know, like 15 years, man. I've been a personal trainer for 15 years. So that's
Come
great
on.
that you do that, man. I mean, of course I could tell, you got the size, man. Of course. So I can tell you'd be pumping something. Absolutely. So
Jesus.
okay, that's cool. Nah, that's cool, man. So what kind of made you go, how long ago was you doing did you do this fitness video? What kind of made you go, I want to do fitness workout
Now,
videos?
did you do more than one video, or was that it?
Yeah.
It's literally one video. It's on my Google Drive, and I
Oh
watch it whenever I
man,
want a good night's laugh.
you gotta,
Okay, okay.
yeah, but you gotta get proficient at it, man. It's
No,
like
Really?
doing your Dapp Central.
no.
They're not great in the beginning, or they might have been great. I don't know. I didn't see your first
Hmm,
one,
hmm.
but you get practice. You know.
Yeah, but it's
No,
like anything, right?
you're 100% right. And to be fair, that was my first time really ever being on camera for, more than 5 to 10 minutes at a single time. And so even speaking to the camera at that time was like super, super awkward. But to answer your question, Se7en, that was about, let's say, late November of 2021. So like right after the peak of the bull run. And at that time, like I was into crypto, but I didn't love crypto like I do now. I wasn't immersed in it. But the thing is after I created that content, I began to kind of really dive into Cardano and crypto in general. And I would talk so much to it. So I've got two brothers. I would talk my younger brother's head off about crypto. And one day he was like, well, what about making videos about, crypto? And the light bulb went off in my head, because I was like, okay, well, if I want to make content surrounding workouts and all that stuff, man, you got to be in the gym. You got to, it's a whole different culture almost to be like a fitness
Yeah,
creator,
yeah.
man. You got to have your shirt off 24/7 because you have to show people that you know what you're doing, right? So you can't be like a fitness guru and your shirt's always on, or you're just, and that's not my thing.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
super laid back guy. Like I'm not about the flex life. Now, granted, I like to get my pump in, but like, I'm not that kind of person naturally. And so
Yeah,
whenever he
yeah.
told me, to create content for Cardano, like I said, that light bulb went off because it's something I can do at my house. I can, do it at my computer. I don't have to go anywhere and I can be in my element. Like I said, I was already kind of like in the tech field at work. And so being able to just really leverage that and just do that for Cardano has been a blessing, man.
Tell
Have
you
you thought
what.
about doing crypto videos without a shirt? Just
I'd
just standing up there,
subscribe. I would
right? Just
subscribe
stand
right
up,
away,
man. You
baby.
know how you could get the ladies in there, man. The ladies would be like,
Hey,
"Damn,
man.
I got to
There-
get into
Only
crypto.
Dapp.
Look at this."
There's a total of 4 women in Cardano.
I know we got to get more. We got to get more women in Cardano, and I
And you
think
know what? Exactly. You could be the on board. You could be the
right,
guy that
right there,
onboards them
man.
all, man. Combine
The-
fitness
the-
and Cardano, bro, all
Take
day. That
take
works.
that shirt
One
off.
day.
Take that shirt off and start doing Cardano fitness videos.
What?
Yo,
One
how
day.
would that even go down? Yeah,
I
that
don't
would be
know, man,
crazy.
but we got to figure it out. There's money to be made there. I know there is.
Hey, I know.
I-
I
I-
want. Sorry, brother.
Mhm.
Go on.
No. I was just going to say
Yeah.
that that's actually been something that was on my mind, right? Was bringing some kind of education around fitness to the space because I know everybody here loves crypto, and so it is difficult to kind of talk about other things, especially as you have a platform that's kind of young and new. But definitely, I think once, I grow a little bit, I would definitely like to put a little bit more emphasis around, personal health in the space, not necessarily working out, but just people taking care of themselves. I know, especially like in the tech space, again, I can only speak from my personal experience and what I do. There's a lot of people that are just on their computer a lot of time. And even me at this time, like I'm on the computer almost every day now, right? But I've got to tell myself, I got to take an hour to get outside, get some fresh air, just go do something else other than crypto because we all love it, right? That's why we're in the space. But it is good to, take that break and go take care of yourself because without health, man, you don't have crypto and you don't have anything
we
else.
talked about food and nutrition the other day, and
Mhm.
I had mentioned that I'm vegan, Se7en's vegan, and
Really?
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I've been
gotta
vegan
stay
about a
healthy.
year now. See, this is the thing, right? I don't do it for the health reasons. I do it for the animals.
Well,
And
you
so
still stay healthy
I
doing it that way.
yeah, but you can be healthy with meat too. But I'm not getting into that right now. But I like that I like that you are into the fitness stuff, man, because again, you're so correct. For me, I was actually saying this the other day in a VC in the core mafia. I was saying to the guys like I went through a phase of I don't know
Mm.
if you ever went through this phase, but I went through a phase of trying to find the next 100x project. And so when I was doing that, I was at the computer or the laptop 24/7. And my working out was being affected. My relationship with my wife was getting affected. I was never seeing my friends because I was just full-time. Mental health down the drain because you keep getting the FOMO is unreal. So I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I know what you mean, that the mental health is especially a very big one. So I like that you're thinking about introducing that, and I'm guessing you're going to start building you're building up your brand, right? And then you'll kind of introduce it. That leads me to my next question, brother, is
Mhm.
where did Dapp Central come from? The name, why Dapp
Yeah,
Central?
where'd
Why
that
not
come from?
Farid? Because Farid's pretty cool. It's a cool name, but
So it's funny you say that. So my name actually means unique. And
yeah, there
I
you
love
go.
my name and it's definitely a conversation starter, but I wanted this to be bigger than myself. My goal honestly would be to have a studio where I can actually have other people on other than myself actually speaking about Cardano and crypto as a whole. Now, Dapp Central came about because the goal on the channel is to provide everybody with updates about everything going on in the entire ecosystem, right? So it's
Mm,
not focusing on one particular project or one particular blockchain, at least for now. Right now, it is Cardano focused because that's kind of where I started. But I didn't
okay.
want to box myself in, right? So I wanted to have something that was broad enough to where I can have some wiggle room in the future, but then also not necessarily tied to just me, because again, I do want to hopefully be able to get to the point like where you see Bitboy Crypto, for example, Ben, he's got, 4, 5, 6 different people that are running around the clock creating content with him. And so that's my goal, is to do something like that, in the future. But again, focusing on different dApps and giving people the news, tutorials and reviews is the goal of the channel.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually was something that was on my mind. I was wondering if you were ever gonna, do other blockchains, if you're gonna do just complete
Mhm.
crypto as a whole, but because obviously you started with Cardano. Why Cardano first? What drew you in about Cardano and you was like, well, I really want to talk about these guys first, these projects first?
So it's funny. I had a Coinbase account, and I still have a Coinbase account. And this was when I really wanted to try to actually get on the blockchain, right? So just get past the point of actually just trading a crypto on a centralized exchange. I wanted to actually get in there and see, okay, like what is it like to actually do something on my own in an ecosystem? And when I tell you, I spent, I want to say $200 in a matter of 30 minutes to an hour on gas fees in order to make a trade or two on Uniswap on Ethereum. I was like, yeah, this is just
Mm,
not feasible. And this again
mm.
was at the top of the bull run. So gas fees were like $35 a transaction, right? Go ahead, Stein.
No, we had our last interview with Freiler.
Mhm.
That was the same thing he was talking about. Same with me when I first got into it. It was like, you know, this is too expensive.
Right, right.
So
Mm.
I went
And that was my first
I went
impression.
all in on Shiba Inu. I own so much shit. I heard it was the best thing, because it was so cheap. They said it's going to
God
go
damn
to
Shiba
$1, and I
Inu,
was
man.
like, man, if I can buy 1 million of this for like $20,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
you gonna be
rich.
super rich. Yeah, that's everyone's thinking, man. Yep.
That's the gateway to crypto. I
Right,
literally have
right.
friends on Facebook in the same exact situation. People that had never mentioned crypto, but they're like, I got Shiba Inu,
I got Shiba.
buy this,
Yep.
buy that. And of course, that was the top of the bull run. But to kind of take it back and just wrap up my answer here, that's really what kind of made me understand. Okay, this is not feasible for me here. And as I
Mm,
continued to dig around, Cardano kept coming up and up and up, and I'm like, okay, well, let me give this a shot. And I made my first transaction, and the gas fee was like 3 cents. I'm like, this is impressive. So I
mm,
started to dive in, and this was right around the time that they just had the ISO for Sunday Swap. So there was like
mm,
nothing in the ecosystem. Smart contracts had just dropped, and this was back when you still had to put in like an offer request on like cnft.io for like trading JPEGs and stuff. Like this was way before JPEG Store, right? So
mm,
this was like
mm.
when I really came into the ecosystem, and I was like, okay, well, this is something I can actually learn and do something with without feeling like I'm breaking the bank, right? And so since then, it's just been history. Like I said, I love the community. Charles is great. IOG is great. Members like yourselves are great. Just getting a lot of support. I was like, yeah, this is definitely the place to be where people are rooting for each other, not tearing each other down to blow up their bags.
Yeah. Well, that's actually
Absolutely.
something that's something I noticed about Cardano is everyone is so supportive of each other. It's such a great community. I cannot speak for, other communities because I'm not in them. But that's one thing that drew me in. Is exactly the same. Is the camaraderie, is the friendship that you can build. I've made so many friends in Cardano, like throughout the this last year and a half being in the Corn Discord. But yeah, no, I like that, man. I like, and I see what is the overall. So what's the overall goal for you? Like, okay, so you said you wanna build a studio, you wanna get people in. If I had to ask you, all right, let me divert this. If I
Are
had
you
to
going to
ask
ask him
you,
for a job?
yeah, bro, I was
He
thinking
asks
about it. I was like,
You're
every people
hired.
hey,
that we
man,
have on here, he
thank
asks for
you.
a job.
Yes,
I think
thank
he's trying
you.
to get off this show. That's what he's like. He's
Hey, man.
like, you got any openings over there?
Because
Jesus.
that's great. Because it's great what you do. You can have people do stuff for you from all over, right? They don't have to literally be at your studio. They can record stuff for your channel,
Mhm,
from
mhm.
anywhere in the world, which is great. You can go international. You can have people with different languages, So that's great, man. That's really great. Is there any blockchains? I don't know if this is a good question. I don't know. Is there any
Mhm.
blockchains that you're looking at the moment that you feel
Oh yeah.
it's not something I really want? That is something I want to get into, or that isn't something I want to get into?
Yeah, I think I can answer what I want to get into. I
Yeah,
think talking about what I don't want to get into, people might take that the wrong way.
yeah,
But
yeah. I got you. Yeah, yeah.
Algorand and Ergo for sure are two blockchains that I'm excited to finally start covering on the channel again. I want to make sure that I do things at the right time, especially with YouTube. As you guys probably know, as a content creator, YouTube kind of pushes you to kind of go down a specific path. And for you to really find success in YouTube, you have to kind of really be consistent. So my goal is to be consistent with Cardano first. But I do understand that there's other blockchains with a very similar mantra to Cardano, again, which include Ergo and Algorand. They're very methodical. They focus really, really well on their community, and they focus very, very well on delivering quality protocol. So those are two blockchains that I'm excited to hopefully be able to cover over the course of the next year, and obviously be making announcements on the channel, and just kind of getting people's ideas as to what projects they want me to cover, because that's the biggest thing on YouTube is like you have to understand that you're on YouTube not for yourself, but you're on YouTube for the community. And so I think that's one thing that I'm trying to do a little bit better on is just staying in touch with the community, responding to comments, putting out posts, and getting a feel for what it is that the people want. And once I've got a better understanding, I'll kind of dive out and try to cover what the people want on those ecosystems.
I like that philosophy that you're there for them and not there for yourself. I keep telling Se7en that his music is the same way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, you know what, brother? It's exactly the same. But I don't think of it that way. It's a better mentality to have. What you just described, absolutely do it. If you provide value, then they will come. You know what I mean? So I can appreciate that. And I gather that from your videos as well. It's not you're genuinely want to provide great information for people. And
Absolutely.
what's your thoughts on because you I won't mention the name, but let's say what's your thoughts on um YouTubers, influencers,
Mhm.
kind of not like, oh, what's the phrase
Hyping?
I'm looking for? Yeah, hyping. Yeah,
Mhm.
hyping projects. What's your opinion on that?
Shilling.
Because I know there was a popular YouTuber, which was mentioned earlier, that was in a bit of a thing about that, where they got some flack for kind of hyping up projects. Is that something you would do? Kind of take not take. Would you? Are you a project hyper? Do you like doing that kind of thing? If you believe in it, of course.
So this is a very, very good question, and I appreciate it actually. Before I answer, I want to say that number one, you have to be able to talk about what you want and what you're interested in.
Okay.
YouTube is a job. So I think there has to be a little bit of leeway to at least talk about projects that you're interested in. Again, I know that you definitely want to listen to the community, but you don't want
Mm,
to wake up and then cringe at the sight of trying to make a YouTube video. So for example, the Cornucopias project, right? I covered Copy greatly. This was actually one of the first projects that I covered on the channel. I've never gotten a single copy from the team for making
mm,
a single video. I
mm.
genuinely love the project. Now, some people might say that I'm shilling Copy because I don't necessarily talk about other metaverses on my channel, but
Okay.
my channel is focusing on the top projects in Cardano. So again,
Mm,
that's me using my own judgment as to classifying Cornucopias as a top project on Cardano. Now, when it comes to shilling, I think shilling is what you do or is classified as you holding a token, not telling people that you hold a token, and then
mm.
trying to get them to basically hype it up for you. That way you have them as exit liquidity, or that way that you can pump your own bag and maybe dump at a later time. That is
Yeah,
never my
yeah.
goal. That will never be my
Mm,
goal.
yeah.
Now, granted, I do own Kopi. I have to be transparent about that,
Mm,
right? Because again, if I'm talking about a project that I think is a top project, it will be silly for me to say I'm not going to invest in them, but I'm going to talk about them being a top project, right? So that's
yeah.
where I think that the fine line is. I think it's all about the intent. If my intent is to tell people about Kopi with the hopes that they just buy Kopi so I can again have them as exit liquidity, I'm not for that. But if I'm telling them
Mm,
about Kopi, that way they can actually do their own research and they can genuinely gain interest and be a part of the ride that I think again is going to be a top project, then that's
mm.
great. Which is why I always tell people I'm not here to tell you how to make an investment. People ask me all the time in the comments, what do you think about this project? What do you think about that project? And as a content creator, you have to realize that your words have an influence. Your words have
Yeah.
power to sway people, right? And people will make a decision based off of what you say. And so I
Mm,
try to be very, very careful about giving people explicit recommendations about tokens to purchase. But hopefully, the content that I'm putting out is educational enough. Excuse me, is educational enough to give them a sense of whether or not they should be making that investment, right? Again,
mm,
covering, project mints, covering the founders, like all this is stuff that you have to piece together yourself in order to
mm,
decide, okay, this is a project that I want to invest in. But my
mm.
goal is never to tell people what to invest in. So again, it's a fine line, but I think it all comes back to the intent.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's very important to to believe in a project and
Yeah.
and you know, hype it a little bit if you want to do that. Like we're into cornucopias games, so we talk about that quite a bit. We're into Cardano. I don't find anything wrong with that. I think the like you said, the misleading thing comes from I'm hyping this, so price will go up, and then I'm gonna just pull a rug and get out.
Yeah,
You know?
because the reason, yeah, I mean, I've been on the other side of that. You know,
I
I've
think
watched
we all have.
influencers, yeah, and they'll go, yo, this is gonna do fantastic, and then you realize afterwards they just trying to pump it up, and then they sell at the top, and then you're just kind of left with two buttons. You know what I mean?
And
And
Well, that
yeah,
I think that's where, like I've been in it about a year now, a little over a year, and what I found out is you want to do research, so you watch YouTube and oh wow, this looks good, so you buy some of this and this looks good, but then after a year, if you want to watch any content, you have whittled it down to like maybe 2 or 3 different people that you watch, because you know that when they tell you,
legit,
listen,
yeah.
I own this, so I'm going to talk about it. You know. So
and if I could, sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish.
Go ahead, man. This is your spotlight.
Woohoo.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And if you guys ever want to speak up, go ahead and feel free to do so. I don't want to take up the airtime.
No,
I just
brother.
want to say to that point, we have to be educated as consumers as well. So like putting myself aside as a content creator, I had to realize when I first came into the space who I was watching, right? I was watching a ton of Moonboy content. And again, I'm not going to say any names, but you can just tell
Yeah.
by the title
Yeah.
of the content and by
Yeah.
the thumbnail of the content who is here to pump up
Yeah. Yeah.
the tokens and who's here to give you some education, right? So you can tell very quickly within the first 5 to 10 minutes of, I think, watching any content creators' videos, what their intent is. But again, if you're new to the space, I remember falling for like one of the videos where it was like Charles having like a whiteboard video, or it was Charles in like an interview or something like that, where they had, you know, send your crypto to this address and we'll double it back and send it back. And again,
Oh,
this was
yeah.
like when I first came into crypto. So people will fall for that if they're new to the space. But as you begin to watch more content, as you begin to watch more people, you can quickly understand who is actually here to provide you value and who is here to pump their own back. So I think that's one thing that people have to do is understand the types of content creators that are on the space, right? Some of them are here to give you quality information, and it may not be the catchiest, right? But it's quality at the end. Whereas you have some other creators who are looking to give you a flash, you know, at the intro. But again, you have to understand if they're shilling you links to go sign up on Bybit, if they're telling you to go sign up on an exchange and all you need to do is, you know, spend $100 to make $100. Well, you have to understand somewhere in the middle, they're making money for telling you to go sign up for an exchange. I'm never going to tell anybody on my channel to go sign up for an exchange or to ever go use leverage. I know that those are things that will get you wrecked very, very quickly, right? So I think those are the warning signs that you have to be careful of. Again, there's just so many people in this space, and it's a brand new space. And so I'm also realizing like there's a lot of new people coming to the space, and I was new at one point, right? So I had to build my credibility up, but it's at the point now where I understand that my brand is bigger than any other collaboration that I can have with an exchange, right? At the cost of my subscribers. As long as I'm willing and able to stick it out right now while I'm young, I know that I'm going to get rewarded for all my work and effort that I'm putting in, as opposed to me trying to take a shortcut. And I can tell you, like, I've gotten offers from people emailing me, asking me, hey, you know, do you want to sign up and we have this exchange and all you need to do is promote us? And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm fine. You know, I'm doing okay as I am right now, you know, but I understand why some people fall into that. It's very, very lucrative.
You know, you're
great to
saying
hear.
when I saw that, I don't even know if they still have them, but I saw that Charles Hoskins one with a whiteboard. Send in, we'll double it because we're testing out our chain kind of thing. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe I should do it. And then they were like, yeah, you got to send 1,000 ADA.
Oh,
Like,
I
oh,
remember this.
I said, oh, I
Yeah,
just
I
wanted to send
remember it.
100 to see how it worked. No, it has to be 1,000 because the chain is all filled up. And then I went in somewhere and looked it up. I think I was in Discord or something like that. I went into Cornucopias. This is before I was with the Corn Mafia Guild. And they were like, no, don't do it. It's a scam. So
Yeah.
I was just like, that's not, because it looks like it's live. It looks like it's him live.
Exactly.
Well, that yeah,
And, you
that's
know,
it almost got me. I was like, well, that is Charles. I know Charles's face.
Right.
Yeah, that is him. But yeah, so no, that's okay. That's great. I wanted to ask you, brother. I wanted to
Well,
ask
you
you.
still waiting for
Like,
that 1,000 back?
I'm
7?
I'm still waiting for it. I'm hoping that he can supply.
This chain is
Uh,
slow.
yeah, I want to know because you obviously cover a lot of projects. You
Mhm.
know, you pretty much you're quite aware of the Cardano ecosystem, what there is, what projects are going. If you had to give me, let's say, in any three categories, any three industries within Cardano, what are your three favorite projects? Any at the moment, what are your three
Oh
that you're
man, you're
looking
putting
at
him
that
on the
you're
spot,
talking
man.
about? Well, no,
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
talking about you're not gonna
You're
say
asking him
you
for
do
financial
him on
Hey, Farid, make sure you tell him, 7, this is not financial advice, but
yeah,
That's
it's
right.
not it's NFA.
right?
That's right.
All right,
That
tell me your three worst ones. No, I'm joking.
There's plenty of them, man.
There's so many, so many.
Just look, man. You can buy a shit coin anywhere. I'll sell you a shit coin right now.
The Stein coin. Stein coin, yes, it's
Stein
pretty
coins,
good.
yes. I made it on my Raspberry Pi. Don't worry about it, man. Just buy
Raspberry
them
Pi.
all up.
Yeah. Okay, then let
Mhm.
me ask
No,
something different because we were
no,
talking about
I can answer.
cornucopias.
I
Okay,
can
cool.
answer. Not,
Yeah.
no, it's
All
not a
right, hold
problem. You're
on.
not putting me on the spot, man.
I gotta get some. I gotta
Cool.
get a pad of paper here.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I want to get some insider
don't
info
quote
here.
me. Don't
Yeah,
quote
I
me.
know.
This is my personal favorites. Again,
And this
I
is
think
not
everybody has to do their
financial
own
advice.
research. That's right.
Mhm,
That's right. That's like the
mhm.
crypto slogan
Disclaimer.
right there.
Right.
Yeah,
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 not
yeah.
financial advice. But I have to say, if I'm going to pick three categories, and I'll just pick three simple ones,
Mm,
I'll pick a DEX, right? A
mhm.
decentralized exchange. I'll pick a metaverse, and then I'll pick a DeFi play. So DEX, I'll have to say, is going to be MinSwap. Now, granted, this could change, and all three of these could actually change, right? All these three categories that I'm going to talk about. But the MinSwap team, if you guys look at it, they were not the first ones out the gate. That was Sunday Swap, and Sunday Swap got a lot of love being the first AMM style DEX on Cardano. But if you'll notice what the MinSwap team has done, and again, it's not a knock on anybody else because I think that there's other great DEXs on Cardano, which include Wing Riders, Muesli Swap, just so many of them, right? The MinSwap team has been so in touch with their community. They have literally listened to all the requests that have come in, whether they're good or bad, as to how they can improve their platform. And they've done an extremely good job of iterating on that, which is why I would give them my pick right now for the DEXs on Cardano. They continue
Okay.
to iterate, they continue to build, and they're a really, really solid team that knows what they're doing. And if you're looking for a job, 7, they are, I think, looking for some devs.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
Now,
know if I got that. I'll tell you something. I tried. I started learning during lockdown. I was like, I need to learn coding. So I
mhm.
got through HTML. I got through CSS. And then, if I'm saying them correctly, anyway, it's been so long. And then I got to JavaScript, and I said, "Nah, all this, I'm done." I couldn't understand it. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So yeah,
7.
no, I'm afraid no dev
7's
work for
like,
me.
what position you looking for? And he's like, is there any way I can walk around and just talk to people? Is that in the cards?
Is that a
Because
job? I could do that. I
yeah,
could do that. I
I
could
need
be
to do
the
that.
We, that's called building client relationships, man. That's a real
yeah.
There you
There you
job.
go.
go. I'll be the
There you
office
go.
Yeah.
jester.
Office
Stand in the
jester.
corner.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, everybody, feel
Yeah,
good.
that'll last like 2 days, man. This guy's bothering me.
Yeah,
Can
I
you get
get
him away
tired.
from my cubicle?
He's the guy that you always catch at the coffee machine. He's never working, but he's ready to
Right?
talk.
Just leaning up against the wall. There he is. There's
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
No, that is hilarious.
Oh,
But
hey,
number two, number
can I
two.
ask? Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
No,
go ahead.
I
Okay,
wanted to ask
I'll
you before we get into number 2.
mhm,
You
mhm.
have a staking pool, right?
Yes, I do. I just became an SPO on Cardano on January 21st of 2023. So yes, I do. I'm excited to share
Nice.
that with you guys.
Do you mind if we
Nice.
put it up on the screen here and you can
Not at
tell us a
all.
little bit
Not at
about it?
all.
All right, here we
Do it.
go.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
for sure.
There we go.
For
Oh, there we
sure.
go. Dapp Central staking pool.
Yeah, so this is the official Dapp Central stake pool. Again, my mission here on Cardano is to educate the community. And this is another way that I'm just able to contribute. Again, I just had so much support over the course of the actual last 3 weeks since this pool has come live. And so as you guys can see, we just crossed over the 2 million ADA threshold with over 72 delegators. I actually had put out a poll before launching this stake pool, asking the community if they'd be willing to support. And it was a mixed opinion poll. But since I've launched this, man, the amount of outpouring support has been amazing. I have two whales who, in the name of confidentiality, I won't share who they are,
Mhm.
but they both sent me direct emails and they were like, we want to see you succeed and we're going to be delegating to your pools. And like I said, man, that really touched my heart because, again,
Ah, that's
these are
great.
people that didn't have to do that. And they delegated together over 1.5 million ADA. So that really goes again to speak to the people that are in the space. And I didn't think that I would get this much of a delegation, in the first 3 weeks. Honestly, getting to the first million is what people have mentioned to me is the hardest part. And
Wow.
for me to be able to get to there in a matter of, 2 to 3 weeks was just
Wow.
amazing for me, man. Like I had to write them back and I was just like, you guys don't understand how much this really means to me, man. Again, it's just another
Yeah.
testament to the Cardano ecosystem, man. So if anybody watching this video wants to support my mission to, continue to educate the Cardano community, then consider staking with the Dapp Central stake pool. It really does go a long
Do you,
way and
do
I'm
you have
thankful
a
for it.
do you have a link on your website, or how will they get to that
Yeah, I
stake
do.
pool?
So on my website, I've got a blog section that actually highlights all the different ways that you guys can go ahead and actually go ahead and delegate. So if you scroll down there, Stein, if you're able to,
Oh,
at
hold
the
on.
very, very bottom, there is a blog section. And as a part of the blog, you can actually go ahead and review the specific blog that highlights how to actually delegate to the stake pool. So that's really it there. Again, I am actually going to be giving away two different tokens of my own to the community as a thank you token, literally, right? No pun intended, for their
Mhm.
support along the way, man. It really has been a journey and I'm thankful for it all, man.
So where is this? Right here in the
Yep,
the
yep.
blog.
Stake pool structure, reward structure. Yep. That's cool. Okay.
So I just
Wow.
click on this here.
Yeah, you can click on all blog posts. Yep. And
Yep.
if you scroll down, I've got two different articles highlighting how Cardano staking works. And then I've got Stake with Dapp Central, which actually
Yeah,
shows
yeah,
how
yeah.
you can actually go ahead and delegate using Pool PM, Cardano Explorer, and just all the different wallets that are available right now within the ecosystem. So as we begin to get more wallets online, including Lace Wallet, you guys can definitely bet that I'll be updating those articles to also include instructions as to how you guys can delegate using those platforms as well.
Oh wow,
Amazing.
man,
Ah,
very
that's
cool,
great,
very
brother.
cool. Well,
It's a
that's your
nice
website
website.
too. We'll put a link to
Yeah,
your
thank you.
website here in the video when it comes out. We
Thank
won't.
you for all the free promo, you guys.
Well,
I
yeah,
really do
man, no
appreciate you
problem.
guys.
We
You
we,
came
we
on our show, brother. You came
right.
on our show. We appreciate you.
We're
Yeah.
not.
Thank you.
We'll just put the link to the website, and they can do the research from there and click on it
Yeah. Yeah.
from there, man. But yeah, man,
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. You got your YouTube
Thank
channel
you.
here too, so you
Yeah,
got
that
you
that's been
got
a work in progress.
well.
That's been
It
a work
looks.
in progress.
Where's the workout video? Is that on here?
No,
That's
that's
under
private.
hidden. That's under hidden. Yeah,
Let's
See,
extra
see.
hidden.
seven knows. Seven knows.
I know
Yeah,
all about the
you got a
hidden
lot of
projects,
videos on here,
brother.
man. You have a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah,
videos
man.
on
So
here.
what you're putting out what kind of what's your workflow like when you make a video? How often can you get videos out? Would you like to increase? Are you thinking that you're at a good number? What's your video creation process like?
Man, it's so funny you asked me this. When I made my first video, Seven and Stein, it took me, I want to say, about 4 to 5 days to make my very, very first video. And it was a beginner video on how to use the Nami wallet. I didn't know what to do. I was so camera shy. And since then, it's just been a grind. And I just want to say that it's almost like working out. Like I remember hitting the gym for the first time, man. I was so sore the next day. You're aching. You don't want to get up and go again. But I continued to just grind and grind and grind. And now I'm at the point where I'm able to get a piece of content out within, hours. And, you know, the way that you're able to deliver, especially in crypto, is huge, right? People need information, but they need it as soon as it's released. So I don't have the time that like I used to be able to take 3 to 4 days to drop a tutorial, especially when it's
Mm,
something that's brand new, right? For example, we had Jed go live. I was able to drop a video on the day of, but I'm able to speed up my workflow now to where it takes me, I would say 2 to 3 hours at most to, really get things cranking. And I'm looking at the setup that you guys have going on right now on the set that we're, recording on. And I think you and Stein both have done an amazing job, but like you guys have gotten this to a point where once we get off of this interview, right, you guys will be able to get this edited and published and uploaded within a matter of a few hours if you guys want to do that, right? So
yeah,
it was
yeah.
really a work in progress, and every time that I made a video, I learned something that I could then improve on the next time. And so it's really been a work. I aim to get at least one video out per day. And so far, it's been a really good ride and I've been consistent with it.
Let me ask you a question. Have you thought about doing live videos? that are recorded and you could put them out?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be doing something very similar to what Scruffy is doing with the Fall Guys right now, where he goes live and he basically, has a really, really chill and laid back stream where he's just kind of playing a game. Now, granted, once Cornucopias launches, and I'm sure Se7en, you're probably going to be doing this as well because I know you're streaming too. But you'll have your own community, right, which is around you already, that you can then have join you to play games with you, right? So I know you did the Call of Duty streams, and that was really cool. I was able to actually watch you play a couple of times. But I would like to do something like that where I can really lay back and do like we're doing now, be myself and just be natural and not focus so much on having to deliver that educational content, but just having people there to be with me, right?
Yes. Yes, I'm with
So
you.
yeah.
Okay, so that's great. I can definitely see you doing that, and it's interesting that you said about how you started with your videos. You were really camera shy, but now you're quite natural into it, and you are all right. It's kind of like going to the gym. The more you do it, the more you put yourself out there, the quicker it comes too. You just get natural with it. It feels better. But something I want to talk to you about was cornucopias, because that's
Mhm.
one of the things we talk a little bit about on the show for sure, because it's how most of us have met, right?
Mhm.
So uh, when did you find cornucopias? What kind of drew you into cornucopias? What excited you about it to actually start making videos about it too?
Yeah, so I found Cornucopias. I want to say it was 2 to 3 months after they had launched their Discord. So this is about October of 2021, if I'm not mistaken, right before we went into 2022.
Mm,
What drew me in was how they were able to deliver on Cardano. So at that time, the really hot metaverse play was Sandbox. I'm not sure if you
mm,
guys are familiar with Sandbox on Ethereum. Now, like I said before, on Ethereum, everything is just super expensive. And at that time, like you had Snoop Dogg and Eminem,
mm.
all these big players buying up land on the Sandbox. I don't have Snoop Dogg money. I don't have Eminem
Yeah,
money. Maybe you guys do. If you guys
yeah, I
do,
don't know
feel free
about
to
that.
share some
I
with
don't
me.
know. I went on
I'm
the
trying to get
Sandbox.
I'm trying to get a job with you, man. How am I gonna have that money? I'm trying to get a job with Farid.
I went on the Sandbox because I wanted to go check out. I heard about, oh, they have a casino, you can go play cards or whatever. I don't know if I was doing it wrong, but they were like, to enter the casino, you have to buy this item to get into the casino,
Mhm.
and at the price of ETH with the fees, it was like 1,000 US just to enter. I'm
Mm,
like,
mhm.
no, I can't do this.
Right, right,
That's way too much. So
right. No, and I think
Yeah.
for the general people, that's how a lot of people felt. It almost kind of
Mm,
felt like a private club. And so piggybacking off of that, I'm okay. Well, metaverse is really hot right now, but I obviously can't make any moves on Ethereum. And again, that's when I was really kind of diving deeper into Cardano. Again, at that time, there wasn't much built, but there was a lot of people showing what they were going to be building. And so I ran into a cornucopias video by another content creator, kind of highlighting. I think at that time they had like the staking going on the BNB chain, and that really kind of piqued my interest. And even at that time, they were still building on Unreal Engine 4. But I'm like, man, this looks really awesome. And it's being built on Cardano. So it was like a double whammy. Not only did it look just as good as the Sandbox, it was at a phase where people hadn't really jumped into it just yet. And even now, I think it's still early. There's been so much development going on, but they're nowhere near the stage that other platforms are at in terms of adoption. So I think that's what really makes Cornucopias, in my eyes, a hidden gem. For the few of us that are in here now, and I say few of us, there's 40,000 people in the Discord, but for the
mm,
few of us that are here now, this is a gem in the making. And so
mm,
after really kind of diving into the tokenomics, diving into the founders and understanding what they were actually trying to build, it was clear as day, man. Like this is a project that's going to be doing just as much, if not more, than the Sandbox, Decentraland, and all these other metaverses that have already matured, quote unquote. But it's all being done on Cardano again, which is a double whammy because I know how development is occurring on Cardano. It's a slow, methodical, and they're not rushing to get to mainnet just to say, hey, we're on mainnet. And then the final piece of icing on the cake, I actually mentioned this in my last video. Shout out to Rob, man. Rob Gregg. This man is a
yeah,
humble,
yeah.
humble man. When I tell you, I have not
Unless
had.
unless 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 sorry to interrupt, but unless
Go ahead.
he's racing against Charles, then he's not humble. I've seen the video. He's like, nah, I win. I don't play to lose. I like that. That's
Right,
fair
right,
enough,
right.
right? Yeah,
He's humble when he's got to be. He's humble when he's got to be.
yeah,
And
yeah.
when I tell you, man, I met him at 2
He's the
events. The
opposite
first
of
time was
seven.
at
He's
no.
seven's
What was
just
that?
like, I'm seven. That's it.
What?
You,
Oh,
you want me
yeah,
humble.
no,
You have to,
I'm so egotistical, it's unbelievable. Anyway, yeah, you were saying sorry, Farid,
No,
go
you're
you
on.
know,
good. You're
we
good.
never got back into the three things that you were interested in.
Yeah, we'll get there,
Oh
we'll
yeah,
get
no.
there. Yeah,
We'll close out on that. We'll close out on
we'll
that.
We'll
get there.
circle back around.
But I met Rob at Consensus in 2022.
Mm,
That took place in Austin. So that was actually a drive away from where I'm currently at. And before I even met him, I had 17 subscribers on YouTube. And this was at the time where the Kopi team had just released in their Discord the ability to go ahead and actually start getting the Discord roles for the NFTs and stuff that you hold. And so I made a video highlighting, how can you go ahead and actually sign up and get these roles. It was a super simple video. And the OG club was kind of getting some buzz around that time with the OG NFT mint. And I made a video about that. And again, I had 17 subscribers, but Rob was showing so much love, man. He came over there and he was commenting on my videos, encouraging me to keep going. And that really, really touched me. And a lot of people ask me why I don't cover that many other projects on Cardano. Again, my goal is to cover the top projects, but that's
mm,
really why I focused more on Cornucopias at the time, was because of the community around the project, right? And at that time, I wasn't comfortable talking about every other project, but seeing the outpouring support from Rob and meeting him at Consensus, and then meeting him again and the rest of the team at CNFTCon and Rare Bloom. By the time I met him the third time, man, like I felt like he was my regular friend, So
yeah,
man, like
yeah.
that's really what drew me to Cornucopias, man, was the community, the founders, them being so open. They're YouTubers now too, right? With the Kopi Cafe series, like they're out
Yeah.
and about. Like, they're not hiding from anybody. They're super transparent about what they're doing, and that's really, again, what draws me to this project, is the fact that they're so open, and they're really happy to help anybody out as long as they're willing to support the Kopi project in return.
I
Yes,
think
yes.
that like Rob, I know Rob. I asked him to friend me on Twitter because I had to ask him a question. Who else would do that? He friended, yeah, no problem. Ask me a question. What other owner of a company that big would even
Right.
bother?
Yeah,
But
would
you know
even
what I
would
think
even
that he
acknowledge
understands,
us,
I don't even work for him. He's
right?
like, yeah, sure. I'll, whatever you want to ask
Mm,
me, So
Right.
really good
But
guy, really
going
good
back,
guy.
I agree. And going back to what I said earlier, they understand that community is everything. Without the community, there is no Kopi. And
there's
they've
yep,
made it a point to really emphasize their community, which in return, word of mouth, man, it travels, right? So the experiences that we have, we're more than happy to share that with other people. And they understand that that's going to have a growing effect. So again, man, I think they're doing an awesome job when it comes to that.
Yeah,
exactly.
most
Yeah, the word of
definitely,
mouth,
most
yeah.
definitely.
I mean that when they went through the javelin issues, when they were first working out the kinks of their own, actually I think that was, I can't remember. I think that was Dirtbird's tech at the time. I think they were using
Mhm.
Dirtbirds at the time of the Jab mint, and obviously they had a few issues, and then they just gave away all the NFTs, like nearly $1 million worth of NFTs, and that, like you say, that spread out, word spread, and people get to hear about this, and yeah, I agree with you. Their transparency is unmatched. Their support with the community. They listen so closely to what everyone is saying about everything. Even to the point where I don't think they should. Like, some people be like, Kopi Cafe is too long. I'm like, don't listen to them.
Yeah,
Nah,
don't
you
listen to
guys
anybody.
keep doing
Just
your
do
thing.
what you
Don't
want to
listen to
do.
them. Keep
Let's
doing
fast
as
forward,
long
man.
as you want. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, 'cause,
sometimes,
yeah,
yeah,
they
like
you got the things you
The
can click on,
chapters.
right?
Yeah, the
well,
Yeah, you can
chapters.
click on chapters.
right. Click
Yeah,
on a
don't.
chapter. That's what I
I
do.
want to know what they're drinking every week. I want to know what they have for dinner the night before. I want to know it all, man.
I
Yeah, why not?
go right to the sneak peeks. I want to see what's coming up, and then I go back and watch the
Sneaky peek leaks.
the leaks, the
Yeah.
Kopi leaks. Yep.
No,
So
Man,
that,
yeah,
that sounds
I
special.
just go right
But yeah,
to that part.
to go back to that, the other two. So you spoke about MinSwap, okay, as a DEX.
mhm,
The other two you mentioned, Metaverse, and sorry, did you say DeFi? I can't remember what you said. Did you say
mhm.
DeFi? Yeah.
Yep.
So what are the projects you're looking at in those spaces?
So I think for Metaverse, it goes without saying, man, Cornucopias. And again,
Woohoo.
it's built on Unreal Engine 5. If you guys have not
Mhm.
already taken a look, check out their slide deck. Check out Kopi Cafe.
Oh, it's
Check out their brand new website that just went live. Check out their new merch shop that just went live. Like, these guys are putting in work, and it's all visible. I'm not
Mhm.
knocking anybody else, but they're visible. Check out all the footage from CNFTCon 2022. They had the booth there. They had multiplayer. People were playing their games. Charles
They had the
played the game.
largest booth there, didn't they?
They did. They
With
did.
couches
They were
and
one of
everything.
the
Yeah, they did a really good
they were
job.
one of the only booths with the floating like banner at the top of the actual booth. Again, they put the time in there, but they know what they're doing. I've not seen any other metaverse show up like this team has. They even showed up to Rare Bloom without a booth just to collaborate and to talk to people. So it goes to show you how much they've developed their craft. And so that's why I picked Cornucopias for the metaverse play. Again, it's not because I talk about them. The proof is in the pudding. Literally, take a look at anything they do. The quality is me too. I like tapioca.
Proof in it doesn't have the same ring. Proof in a tapioca.
But
Cool,
it really is there. You know, you look at anything that they release, they take their time to do it. They're not in this for the money. A clear example of that was the lighting kit NFT sale, right? Right after the bobblehead Santa, they canceled that or they postponed it because things weren't ready. They're not here trying to cash grab. They're good. They're sustainable, you know.
Well,
so again, that's
problem,
number 2.
They had that problem where somebody was, I don't even think it was more than one person they were talking about in Discord. Oh, they put out too many NFTs. And then they like, we got to listen to our community. No, you're listening to that one asshole. Don't listen to him.
But the thing is, right, I'm with you because, you know, people were complaining kind of about the fact that Cornucopias was taking in all the liquidity within the market because everyone is spending money on the corn NFTs. But that's a personal choice. That each individual has the right to say, no, I'm going to go get something else.
Well, I know, but
so I don't think that's Cornucopias' issue. But
you want every one of their NFTs. They're so beautiful.
I want every single one of their NFTs.
I want every single one of them.
I
don't sell any of mine. The ones that I get, I don't sell them. If I want to buy more, I buy more. But
and if you're wise, you're not going to sell for a while. You know, with what they're building. It's like they're just literally scratching the tip of the iceberg. And so I think as we begin to see adoption, man, like everything that we have right now is going to become so much more valuable. So I don't blame you for not selling. I participated in every single NFT sale. I don't have a lot of quantity, but I have everything. So I'm diversified. I've got vehicles, I've got land, I've got the bobbleheads, anything that they come out with, man, I try to at least get in. And the mints are super smooth, right?
They're quick.
The tech's
look at the tech. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the proof is in the pudding. Like they built their own
tech. They built their own marketplace. They built their own minting tech. Like, come on, man. And they're a gaming company. So, but I like that because they now don't have to rely on any outsourcing, help for that kind of thing. They can do it's all themselves. They're in control of the whole thing, which I think is actually, that for me was another, another kind of like, this is incredible. These guys are making their own minting tech and their own marketplace for their own metaverse. They're not relying on anybody else. They're not using the stock assets for like creating the vehicles and all. They're completely making their own stuff. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you 100%, man. Yeah.
And again, you have to read between the lines. You know, if you're really looking at projects and you look at what other platforms are doing, who else is remotely even close to that? And on top of that, we didn't even talk about the mobile game, right? So they're delivering on all fronts, man. I can sit here and talk about Cornucopias for as long as you guys want, man.
Well, this is about you. This is not about Cornucopias.
Yeah. I understand.
There's plenty of time to talk about. I mean, we're all in on Cornucopias.
Of course,
But we need to know.
So, okay, what's your number 3 then? What's your number 3?
Yeah, what's your number 3?
Yeah.
So number 3 is actually another project that had a similar kind of fate when it came to criticism about drawing liquidity. In my eyes, that means that they're doing something right? If you're not pulling in liquidity and people aren't complaining about you taking up all the in ecosystem, you're missing.
Yes, sir.
Your products aren't selling, right? So the third DeFi play that I'm going to have to say is one of the top projects that I'm looking forward to is going to be Meld. And I cover them greatly on my channel as well, right? But there's a lot of DeFi protocols that are also coming online. We just had Liquid. We also have Paribus. There's just so many other platforms also online, AADA Finance. They're all great. Again, don't take me wrong. But when it comes to the cream of the crop, I think Meld is going to be a really, really great project that's going to bring a lot of innovation into the space. And so check Meld out. They're going to be providing crypto to crypto loans, which we've already seen, collaborated and executed very, very well in the ecosystem. But we've never seen, especially in Cardano, a crypto to fiat platform. So you're going to be able to basically put up your copy, right? Or you can put up your ADA and get dollars on a debit card that you can spend to go buy hot dogs. You know, you can go buy whatever you want to buy with your dollars, right?
With your
You can
gains.
go buy some tapioca, some pudding, whatever you like.
Some tofu dogs. Yeah, there we go.
You know,
so they're actually coming out because I know that that company Voyager that went belly up because of whatever they did. They were coming out with a debit card, and well, that's all gone now. So
wait, so is it a mailed debit card, or is that how it's going to be? It's going to be a mailed debit card. So you'll have. Will it be? Because I'm as far as I'm aware, I think Meld is actually partnered with cornucopias. I could be completely incorrect there, but I feel like I've seen. Yeah. So
you can make money in the game and then just go spend it.
Yeah. So again, this is
nice.
This is why I think Meld is going to be doing something that no one else has done before. They just got their EMI license, which stands for Electronic Money Institution, right? Which basically gives them the ability to have their own neobank. So just like right now, we go into Chase, JP Morgan, whatever Chase you got or whatever bank you guys are using right now, Meld is going to be able to offer those same exact services. So they're going to be, they're going to be operating within a decentralized ecosystem, but they're also going to have their own on and off ramp, which is going to be called the Meld Neobank. It's not going to be a brick and mortar bank that you can walk into, but they're going to offer those same exact features. So you'll be able to open up a bank account. You'll be able to put in cash into that bank account, and you can also convert that to, whatever crypto and stuff like that back and forth, right? So this is going to basically be the foundation for their C2F or crypto to fiat system that they're going to be working on. Right now they're on the test net.
I get scared with stuff like that.
That's incredible, man. I didn't know they were doing that.
So many things happened recently. Because we're in February now, so the last 3 or 4 months has been really rocky. Started back with Voyager, and then FTX, and
Now, the key differentiator, those were all centralized entities.
Yeah,
they were asking for your money, and they were managing your money. Meld will be doing all this via smart contract. So
I think they can't do anything once it's in a smart contract, right?
Exactly. And I also want to be clear that they're going to be launching their C2F in the European regions first that do allow for this to take place without regulatory scrutiny like we're seeing right now with the SEC in the United States. So they're very, very methodical, right? Same thing with, for example, World Mobile Token. And that's actually another project that I think is also going to be setting things on fire. So if I can add a bonus in there, WMT.
I thought you was going to mention WMT. I actually thought they're great too. Yeah.
So I don't think that they fall in, they're obviously not a DEX. They don't fall into metaverse. I wouldn't necessarily call it DeFi. I would say like infrastructure, so telecommunications. But I cannot, they're a project that has been delivering on all fronts as well. But to just close the loop on Meld, they're on the test net right now. They've got a working product. They're continuing to iterate. They're aiming to launch crypto to fiat, I believe, in Q2 of this year. And I'm just excited for what they're doing, man. Again, they're trying to revolutionize the space, and they're going to be going multi-chain to tap into liquidity outside of Cardano. So that's something that I think they got scrutinized for early on. But we're starting to see other platforms like Book.io, right? They're now going multi-chain. They had their first book mint on Ethereum. We've also seen Paribus, which is another DeFi and lending and borrowing protocol, come from Ethereum to Cardano. We've got Iagon that started building on Ethereum, and it's also moving to Cardano. So some people are seeing the light, right, in the terms of security and infrastructure in the UTXO model in Cardano, and they're coming over. But we're now starting to see other people from Cardano as well start to branch out. It's going to be inevitable. We cannot just be Cardano and say we're never going to tap into anybody else or collaborate with anybody else. And then very lastly, World Mobile is also building a side chain with the Cosmos SDK. So we're seeing all this interoperability going on. And I think that's the next wave. That's going to be the next narrative, right? Because there's money and there's liquidity in Ethereum. I was looking at the TVL in Ethereum. They're in the billions. Cardano hasn't even broken $1 billion. We're at, I think, 100 million, So we're not even 5-10% of what Ethereum has. Yeah, so if you can get a protocol that's going to be building on Cardano that can branch out to these different ecosystems, imagine
Mm,
how much more um, viewership you can get on your platform. And again, that
mm,
just gains more credibility for Cardano because we're branching out from Cardano to these ecosystems. So that's what I'm excited about, Meld. And like I said, man, World Mobile, man, they're doing an amazing job. So go ahead and check those projects out. And again, do your own research.
Thank,
absolutely.
But those
thank
are
you, man.
projects that I'm appreciative of, man.
Well, I mean, I've heard of Meld. I've heard of them, of course, because they partner with cornucopias. I think
Hmm.
that is fantastic. I think it's actually, it's got me really excited because one of the things that has been on my mind a whole bunch is these CBDCs coming in. These
Hmm.
CBDCs coming in, they're all coming in all over the place, many countries, where of course it'll be digital currency that's controlled essentially by the government.
Hmm.
They can it's programmable money. So what this to me is, I keep telling people, I say, I've been in crypto since 2017, and I've been waiting for adoption. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and everybody keeps going on about, yep, it's gonna come, it's gonna happen one day. I think this, because I didn't know there was I didn't know Meld was doing this. I didn't know anybody was doing this, right? So now I feel so much more at ease because I think to myself, hey, I don't have to live this way according to the CBDC way. I can now have, people are gonna try and find an alternative, right? They're not gonna want to just have all their money be controlled by the government and viewed by the government. This is gonna be an alternative a way of transacting,
I
and so
wonder.
that just got me really excited. You did,
I wonder
yeah,
how that's going to affect the SEC here because, yeah, they're going to be
Well,
like, no,
that
we like to control the money. That's it.
exactly, and that's why Meld
You know,
is not launching that part of the protocol here
yeah.
first. Now, crypto to
Mm,
crypto, that's all happening on chain. That's
yeah,
permissionless. There's no restrictions on that front. But when you, like Se7en, you said, and even you Stein, like when you start to deal with threatening the SEC and how they've been making their money by, I don't want to say bullying, but by taking advantage of everything basically, right? Like we just saw Kraken settle for $30 million. That's a big fine, man. You know.
cool. Oh yeah, I heard about something about Kraken. I
Yeah,
forget now what
they shut
happened
off their
exactly.
staking. They shut off
Oh,
their
okay.
staking.
Well,
The
because of the
SEC
whole
fined
the
them.
SEC thing. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh, they fined him 30
you know,
mil. Wow.
30 mil, man. So,
I mean, that's a
I mean,
day's transaction fees for them. I'd say maybe Binance, who knows?
Uh,
Yeah.
7 loses more than that running for the bus. So,
Oh, man, I tell you.
I've, I've got to plug in a few other protocols here again, just
Yep.
in the air of fairness. Indigo, which is a collateralized deposition platform, which allows you to borrow against your ADA. They have been delivering, man. This is a protocol that's #2 right now in terms of TVL. They just overtook Wing Riders. This team has done nothing but deliver, man, and they only launched in November. So that's another project I've definitely got to just say they're doing an
Indigo.
awesome job. Yeah, Indigo Protocol. Wing Riders has been doing a great job as well, man. I know I talked about MinSwap earlier, but
Mm.
Wing Riders just introduced what they call stable swaps. So right now we don't have a big stable coin ecosystem in Cardano, right? We've got like Jed that just launched,
Good.
and I think
Yep.
there's like a shares like US back stable coin. But what we're going to start to see is more stable coins coming into the ecosystem, including USDC and USDT. Now, if you ever want to switch very quickly between two stable coins, you need a way to do that. And that's what they just introduced into the ecosystem is what they call stable swaps, right? So if you're a whale and you own a ton of USDC and you can't use that on a protocol like Indigo, which is Cardano native, and you want a quick way to swap that out, they now have a way for you to do that, right? So they're thinking way ahead in terms of adoption. So there's just so many builders in the space, man. You guys, having me narrowed down to 3
It's
was a
hard.
tough choice.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
hard,
it's hard.
but I
Absolutely,
appreciate
absolutely.
that, man. I appreciate it.
No, man, that's great. Look, I just
we
realized
can't,
exactly,
yeah.
yeah, what the time is. We've been going on. I've
Well,
had
we don't
such a
want to
great
take up
time
any more
chatting
of your
to you, man.
time at
I
all,
know, but
man.
it's been so much fun, man. It's really great that we all got to learn a little bit more about you, about what your vision is with your channel, Cardano, everything, your favorite projects. And man, I've had an absolute blast chatting with you. You're a really cool, down to earth guy, man. Because you watch people on videos and you can't really tell what they're like. Because it's all it's a show. You're doing a show, right? You're presenting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, it's I've had a great time with you today. Thank you very much for coming on the
Yes,
show,
thank
pal.
you, Farid, for coming in and being our second guest here on 2 Week
Woohoo.
Links. We will put all your information down in the description. And
Yep.
we're
Be
gonna
sure to go check
say
it out,
goodbye to
people.
you, and Se7en and I are going to have our little talk, and then that's it. We'll do our
Yeah,
outro,
man.
and we're
The
gone.
pleasure
Man.
was mine. Thank you all, and you guys are both more than welcome on my platform at any time. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
What are we going to talk about, man? What can I talk about? I don't know anything. I'm
Whatever
over
you
here
want to
trying
talk
I
about.
don't know anything. Yeah, we'll talk about anything.
I'm
Cool.
trying to
Tofu
learn
dogs.
from you. Don't put me on that
Tofu
show,
puppets.
boy. I feel like I got to edit this whole guy's. He
Tofu
doesn't know what he's
dogs.
talking about.
Nah, man. Seriously, you
Cool.
guys have been awesome. I enjoy this. I wish you guys all the best with the 2 Ink Link series,
Thank you,
man.
brother.
Coming on here, you know, I was nervous coming on, man. I like to do things by script. You know,
Oh,
I'm
Yeah,
a pretty
yeah.
prop guy. I was asking Stein here for a script before the show, and he's like, "You got this, man. Don't worry. I'm
we
sweating
don't
bullets."
script. We don't
But
script
nah, man,
this.
this was awesome. Thank you again. I
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
man.
Again,
brother.
No
Thank you.
problem.
best of luck to the both of you.
Hey, thank you very much.
Awesome.
We'll see you later, and you have a good day, man.
Thank you.
We'll
Take care,
talk
brother.
on Discord. All right, bye. Se7en, that was awesome, man. That was
Hello,
awesome.
Steiny. Yeah, it was great to get to know a little bit more about Farid and like I said, what his plans are, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with him in the Cornucopia's metaverse. I am also like super stoked about learning about these projects that he was talking about. Meld. I feel like now I need to go in, you know, and convert some fiat and you know, invest a little bit, man. That's just me. That's my opinion, because it sounds great what they're doing. But yeah, I had a great time. What about you, Stein?
Isn't it nice to have somebody learn stuff for you so you don't have to do it?
Mm.
Right?
Say,
I
we
mean,
could
that's
just
the
turn this
best,
entire
man.
show. We could turn this
Right?
entire show, ask people in the know, and say, "Hey, what's your favorite projects?" Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Yeah.
If
Yes,
I gave
all
you
right, yeah.
if I gave you $4,000, how would you invest it
Yeah,
for me?
what would you be spending that money on?
Right? And can I get a guarantee on that it'll come back? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So
I mean, I know it's not NFA, but it is
I know.
FA. Like, really, let's go. Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Right. So yeah, man, I think this was an awesome show. Farid was awesome. He's beautiful, isn't he? God.
Oh man, I tell you, I hope he's still not behind the scenes, but
Oh,
he'll see this
I don't
anyway.
know. I don't know. He might be in the green room.
It
You
might
might
be
have
in
sent
the
him back
green
down to the
room.
green
Yeah.
room in there. Oh, but beautiful man.
I'm
beautiful man.
a fan. I'm a fan, and I love what he's doing. And I'll definitely, everyone watching, if you're still watching here to these two talking heads, go and subscribe to Farid, the Dapp Central. The descriptions are down below. Everything. Go subscribe. Go follow on Twitter. Go stake at the stake pool. You know, talk to him in Discord. He's always in Cornucopias as well. I mean, that's I might join Mel Discord now, so I can go chat to him in there. But he's always in Cornucopias Discord.
Is there anything we forgot before we sign off?
I don't know, man. You tell me. My brain's
we
a little
have
tired.
we have two week links on Twitter. You guys can check that out, and we have our website.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forget that we actually have a show. We got to post our
we
own
got to
stuff
do
too.
our own show, and we
got to type
we
our
have
own
our
stuff.
own website.
Yeah.
2weeklinks.com. Is it .com or .io? I can't remember. I don't know. It's in the description.
Well,
I don't know anything, man. I don't even know our own website.
Do you know anything? I don't know anything. Should we find out?
So, hey,
cool. All right,
it was nice. It was nice meeting Farid, and yeah, man, you and I will see each other on the flip side
next week, baby. Do it again.